anybody's aware,
I haven't been in Zoom for 2 months.
Yeah, it's been a while. You forgot where everything was. Speaking of Zoom, they have been doing they've been doing upgrades pretty much every week. So if you haven't upgraded your Zoom app on your computer, I'd recommend looking up at the top and see if to click on updates so you get the latest version. Makes it work a lot better. Okay, so welcome everybody, and Happy New Year. We thought it was going to be a Happy New Year. So far, it's been a little rough, but we'll get there. Let's see. I want to welcome our new our visitors, our new members, Wendy and Rod. Thanks for coming. And hopefully, we won't scare you away. Let's see. And if anybody, this came up with Jim and Rod, if you have somebody that's interested in coming to the meetings, since we're not posting the links for the Zoom meetings on social media or on our website, please go ahead and forward it to them via email when we send it to you so that they can join us. That way, I mean, and we also I also put on the website, like I'm going to try to remember to do this for each of the meetings that I post up there, especially the technical nights. There'll be to tell them to contact Jim via my TBCC at gmail.com, so that if we get people that are interested in the site or in the club, we want to get them on the Zoom meeting rather than, since we can't do it in person anymore, or at least for now. So, the other thing is to tell them to send an email to mytbcc@gmail.com so that they can get an invitation. Also, it's New Year, so if you haven't paid your dues via PayPal on the website, please make sure you get your dues done, and don't forget to fill out the form that gives us the information.
A bunch of people have been paying online. So
okay, so I think we're doing really well. That's good. We need to keep our treasury up so that we can get speakers that we're going to be bringing in.
We know if you got mine. This is the first time I paid online. I was just wondering.
I believe so, Victoria. I think I remember seeing it.
Okay, thank you.
You paid yourself, huh? Because every time I get anything for PayPal for TBCC, it says it's from Victoria.
Right. I thought I paid you, Victoria.
Still got your name on the account. Anyway, okay, for the assignments coming up, January this month is leading lines. For February, it's old buildings, and that would be interior, exteriors, or architectural details. And we want you to be creative. We just don't want a picture of a building. So be creative with your old building photo. In March, it's nightscapes, and that could be a night landscape or a night cityscape. So whatever, float your boat, that's fine with us. Technical, and the rest of the list is all on the website now. So if you want to see going ahead what's going to be coming up for assignments, take a look at the website. Technical nights. This coming Friday. Normally, since we have photo camp in January, we don't usually have a technical January, but we have 5 Fridays in January, so we have an extra Friday. In our photo camp is on the 5th Friday and Saturday, so we are having a technical night this month, and in the technical night will be on judging and being judged. So everybody, a lot of the folks in the club get to be judges during the scope of over the course of the year, because we have Jim and Robert judging. We have a member being our 3rd judge, and a lot of folks have expressed concern that they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. So we've done this in the past, but so it was time to do it. So we're going to spend some time talking about what it's to be judged, but also how to judge. And I found it very helpful. I find it helpful because it helps me decide what I'm going to put in for a competition. It gives me, because not every picture you like or every picture that's good is a good picture for competition. So we want to know what the judges are looking for, at the same time learning a little bit about how we judge somebody else's submissions. So that's what's going to be. We may have a few other little things we throw in to use up the time, but that's what we'll be doing next Friday.
And just so you're aware,
in February,
on that one, I will be phoning in for my part on that one. because I won't
Phoning in.
be here in front of the computer. Actually, Tillis Hill,
Okay.
where we're having photo camp.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is Robert going to be
Yeah,
available
no, I'm on.
next
I'm
Friday
on.
night?
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay.
yeah. I'll be on by
Okay,
phone because I'm going to be up at the
Okay.
Tillis Hill location where we're having our photo camp. Remember last year our photo camp coincided with the 27-mile hike from the FTA, and we
Right.
were in the campground with them. Well, this year we split that up, and the 27-mile is now the weekend before our photo camp. But I'm up there. I'm support and safety personnel for that. So I'm going to be at the campsite, but I will be taking a break and phoning in to do my part for the technical meeting.
Okay. And then our February technical night, we're going to have a special speaker. Her name is Eileen Sklan. She actually lives over in the Villages, and she is a photographer that does ICM, intentional camera movement.
Ooh, okay.
And I will be putting up. Yeah, she's really good. She, I first found out about her from one of Jackie Kramer's conferences where she was doing ICM with flowers and gardens and things like that. But she's actually really good at other things too. I've seen some great stuff that she's done in cities and on beaches and things like that. So I'm going to put a write-up about her and her information on the website probably in the next couple of days. And so, but she's really interesting. She's a great speaker. I've listened to her 2 or 3 times now, and she's really good. And I think you'll enjoy it. Something a little different. You don't need anything special to do it. You just slow down your shutter speed, and move your camera up and down. So, or back and forth. It's
do
gonna
that
be
all
like
the time.
Robert's been doing a lot of this. It's a little different point of view. We some of those gyms right there in that picture behind him. Jim Williams is a little. That's ICM. It looks like. And ICM is a lot of fun. It can be fresh, but it's a lot of fun too. So, and it's very artistic. It's not, you don't have to have anything in focus. It's awesome. So it's one of those great things that we can learn about. In March, we're going to have a roundtable with Robert and Jim. On this one, you said new techniques. So I assume that's what's going on with Lightroom and Photoshop. Is that right, Robert?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so we'll have a roundtable panel discussion in March for our technical night regarding Lightroom, Photoshop, and anything else Robert wants to talk about. Okay. All right. Any questions about all that? Nope. Okay. So Photo Camp is the last weekend of the month, the 29th through the 31st. I assume, Jim, you said all the campsites are full?
Yes, and I independently on my own purchased an additional campsite for us because I found out from the signups that Catherine DeYoung and her husband are coming up in a trailer camper, and Lee decided he wanted to use his camper there too. So in order to make sure we really had room for campers, vehicles, tents, etc., there was one campsite still left available, and I bought it for us.
Okay.
So we have.
Is it all grouped together?
No, it's 21. It's 21, and then the others we have are 24 through 28. And I've assigned all the logistics. I have a spreadsheet for myself though. I'll be issuing out to everybody who's on what site with who in tents or hammocks or campers, and or combinations of the above. I can finagle one more tent into a site now since I bought that site. So if there is any one other person or somebody that wants to bring a tent out, we can still accommodate now one more tent at the location. It also helped because Robert told me he's going to sleep in his car, so that freed something up there.
I'm sleeping in my car, right, Jim?
What's that?
I'm sleeping in my car, right?
No, because you signed up on the form that you were bringing a tent.
Because I had no way of telling you that I was using a car. That wasn't an option.
Okay. Well, all right, guys. We can get 2 tents now, so more people can come to photo camp.
Did Sue Harvey tell you she was bringing a tent?
I don't remember.
She was mentioning it to me.
I believe so. Yes, because I have her on the sheet as for having a tent.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, so those of you that have haven't done this before, we can we were able to sign up for camping, but you can also come just for the day, for Saturday, which is what I do. And but I come pretty early in the morning, and because we do a photo walk in the morning, correct, Jim?
Yes.
And we're going to go do the caves in the afternoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the evening I stay late, and we do it depending on the weather. If it's cloudy, then I probably will go home after dinner. But if not, then we'll stay and do night sky. So it's not the best time of the year to do night skies, but it's still a good practice run. And we can get some of the, if there's no clouds, we could see the tail end of the Milky Way, hopefully.
It's also a full moon, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a full moon, so we could shoot the moon.
Yeah. Hey, just interrupting real quick to answer Fong. Is your email fong.shen2@gmail.com?
She's out of the
She's
room.
not at her
looks like.
computer.
Oh,
She stepped away.
Yeah, she stepped away from the computer.
oh, okay. Because Zoom invitations are going to her at that Gmail address. So we just need to confirm that really is her current email address, because Zoom invitations are going to that address for her. She was questioning that. She was saying she wasn't getting invitations. So,
Okay, and then back to the photo walk. On Saturday at lunchtime, the club will be supplying lunch, so we'll have drinks and stuff to make sandwiches and snacks and stuff to go for lunch. For dinner on Saturday night, everybody needs to bring a dish to share with everybody, and we kind of have a potluck kind of dinner. And so that's, any questions on photo camp?
I have
a question. Where is the photo cap?
Oh, it's at Tillis at Withlacoochee National Forest.
So
in
recreation.
Brooksville. Yeah.
And if you look on mytbcc.com, we have a complete write-up and all the details.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. Just go on the website.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Go ahead, Diana.
I've got a question. So Lori and Jack were nice enough to invite me to their tent, which if the temperature is above 50, will work out fine.
They've got a nice
The,
tent.
they
Yeah,
have the Taj Mahal of tents.
Oh, good. Well, I'm going to bring mine anyways, because they said they would help me. But my question is, I think I signed up for a casserole for Saturday. Do you need to bring a casserole for Friday as well? Or
No,
you don't eat on Friday night?
Just bring whatever you want to eat on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on your own for Friday night.
You're on for Friday.
Okay. Okay.
Just so you know, Diana, that when you bring your tent, you're going to be, and you put it inside of Jack's tent, you can still go 200 yards and be distanced from him.
Wow. Okay.
It's a big
I'm gonna switch. I've got to switch over because we didn't bring the plug for my computer, so I'll be gone and I'll be back.
All right.
Okay.
And I have a question regarding photo camp. Does anyone online right now know somebody that has an email address of bfrank2@gmail.com?
Say it again.
B, the letter B, frank2@gmail.com. Because somebody with that email address signed up for photo camp, and they're bringing a tent, and in the box on the form where it says enter your name, they entered the word 1. Some mystery person with an email address of bfrank2@gmail.com is bringing a tent to photo camp.
That would be fun.
All right.
Nobi.
I'll go out on a limb and say it's somebody named Frank.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So, it looks like our third judge tonight is going to be Jack, right, Jim?
Yeah, it would be Catherine, but she's not here, so that means it's Jack.
Yeah, Caesar was second, wasn't he?
No, Jack was.
Jack was second? Okay, so Jack's the judge.
Okay, I'm posting my bank account to anybody that needs it.
And so Jack, I'm going to need you to private message me on the chat with your score. So you pick Lynn off the list. Send me a test chat, please. Robert, do you have any other anything you want to talk about before we get on to the competition?
Now we're good.
Jim, how about you?
Oh, I'm good. You know, actually I drove here from a campsite to be online for this meeting, and when this meeting's over, I'm getting back in the truck and driving back to my campsite.
Oh, I do have one question though. Does anybody from the guests pool want to say anything about what they are about or what they who they are? I know they're guests of people, but I wanted to give them an opportunity at least to introduce themselves.
Yeah, go ahead, Rod.
This is Rod. I was a visitor in the spring, visited your club. I'm a member of the Chaskell Camera Club. Jim got me signed up for this meeting today, and I see another friend, Sherry, sitting there. Hi, Sherry. And I plan to join the club. So I'll check online to get the information. I assume I can get everything from your website that I need.
Yep.
And I also like the outing, so I might check out joining you at the photo camp.
That'd be great.
It's dead. I don't know how to disconnect it.
Hi, I'm Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
I'm from Chicago. My husband and I just recently moved here from Chicago. I was part of the camera clubs, which I loved, and I was hoping to find something kind of similar. It looks like you guys do about the same things.
Don't ever use that in your sentence that we do something the same.
I don't have an idea. I don't have.
Hey, Dinah, mute yourself. Mute yourself. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'm using my phone. I'm not good at that. Can you mute me?
Yeah, but Jim can. Jim, can you mute Diana?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And yeah, let me give some privileges to a couple of you guys here real quick while I'm thinking about it.
And Wendy, Dave Lockwood is actually, you're in Chicago, right, Dave?
Yes, I am.
So, yeah, he's in Chicago. He kind of back and forth between Florida and Illinois, so.
That's why he looks so upset.
Yeah, I thought I found one, but they don't meet in the summer when I'm here.
Okay.
Wendy, we're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, just real quick, Rod, what kind of photography do you do?
Mainly outdoor, animals, landscape,
Okay.
that type of thing. Sunsets,
And-
sunrises.
Okay. And Wendy, what kind of photography you do? It looks like landscape from behind you there.
Landscapes for fun. Yeah, that's the Swiss Alps behind me there. We
Wow.
were there last year. And
Nice.
but for a living, I do real estate photography.
Okay. Well, you need to talk to Jim Sykes because that's what he does.
All right.
When you should have said that was your backyard.
So that
You would believe me.
the competition you were talking about, the subject for interior, should be right up our alley.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think, are we ready to go, Jim?
Yes, I am ready to roll here. Let me jump back, and I'm going to share a screen now. And this is nothing to do with judging. This is just something that Brian wanted to share with us.
Notice the neighbor.
You know? That's pretty good.
It's actually about 5 blocks down from my house.
Oh, come on, Brian. You know it's your house.
Okay, we're rolling into a sign. Okay.
Jack, you ready?
Well, we hope so.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. This is Finding Beauty.
It's 21. The score is 21. It's an honorable mention for Sylvia.
Light the Night.
Score is 22. It's an honorable mention for Sylvia.
I See the Train a-Comin'. This is Altered Reality Composite.
Score is 21. It's an honorable mention for Jim McWilliam.
Lighting the Way, Altered Reality Composite.
Okay, why is this thing not taking it? 25. All right. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Jim McWilliam.
All Lines Lead to Chanel.
'22, honorable mention for Lee Brand.
Before Sunrise in Patagonia.
Score is 24. That's an award for Lee Brand.
Sunset and Moonrise.
Score is 23. That's an award for Lewin.
Frozen Lake at Sunset.
Score is 24. That's an award for Lewin.
Catwalk Windows.
Score is 23. An award for Caesar.
Special Olympics plane pull. Hey, Lynn,
Yeah.
I don't have the screen available to me because I'm running Lightroom. Somehow Diana got unmuted. Will you be able to mute her again?
Yeah. She's muted. Okay. Score is 23. That's an award for Caesar.
Around the Boardwalk.
Score is 22. That's an award for Judy Lane.
Coyote on a Winter Hunt.
Score is 23. That's an award for David Lockwood.
Path to Sunrise.
Score is 21. That's an honorable mention for Brian Schneider.
Road to the Tempest.
Score is 23. That is an award for me.
Striped Blanket.
Score is 23. That's an award for Susan Anderson.
The Tower.
Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for me.
The Pier.
Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Catherine Young.
Bridge to Nowhere.
Score is 20. And out.
Morning in Maine. Fill this
You have
one.
to score this one, Jim.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here. I'll say.
Figure that one out. Okay, it's 22. Honorable mention for Jack.
Old
The
Grist
other one's
Mill.
going to be
Yeah. I'm gonna do this one too.
7. You gotta show the full screen on the picture.
Oh, sorry. I was typing a score. It dropped
Two
it.
things I know.
There we go. There we go. Score is in. Score is in.
Okay, it's 22. Honorable mention for Jack.
Tampa Night.
.22. That's an honorable mention for Fong.
And oops. I gotta fix the score sheet here real quick. I got the wrong title in here. Hang on.
Okay. Okay. And Robert, you're gonna have to score this one too.
This is one of those ones we had to add in tonight. Okay. My point of view.
Jim, you need to put your score in there.
Yeah, that's, I wanted to leave it up full screen for a minute because when I have to type the score, it takes it away from being
Okay.
screen. So.
Okay.
All right. I'll bring it back.
That's 23. That's an award for Karen Robinson.
All right, that completes the assigned category. We'll move on to the general. And by the way, for the new people, if you don't know what we do after we score, we're going to go back and critique the images. But we're going to move into general now and get the scoring done on those. Okay, this is splashing.
That's an honor for Lewin.
USAF Memorial.
Remember, this is general, guys. Scores 23. That's an award for Caesar.
This is DeYoung General.
Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Catherine DeYoung.
This image is also titled DeYoung General.
Score is 23. That's an award for Catherine DeYoung.
Blue tint Christmas display.
Score is 22. It's an honorable mention for Brian Schneider.
Jesus is the reason display.
Score is 22. Honorable mention for Brian Schneider.
Red dress.
Score is 22. Honorable mention for Susan Anderson.
Tattoo.
Score is 22. It's an honorable mention for Susan Anderson.
The hunter's look.
Score is 24. That's an award for me.
Holiday shopping.
It's 23. It's an award for Fong.
Twisting of falling leaves.
Score is 20. It's an honorable mention for Fong.
Winter's reflections.
Score is 23. It's an award for Jim Hagan.
Untitled.
Score is 22. That's an option for Karen Robinson.
Juvenile ibis.
Score is 24. It's an award for Sherry Halstead.
Fishing at sunset.
Score is 22. It's an honorable mention for Sherry.
Tranquility.
You need to score that one, Jim.
Yep, thanks for mentioning that one. Okay. It is scored.
Score is 20. That's an award for Jack.
Oops, hang on, I gotta read. View down Brickell Avenue in Miami from above.
Score is 23. It's an award for Lee.
Sometimes you just have to step out of line and dance.
Score is 22. Honorable mention for Sylvia.
Pensive girl in Bhutan.
'22. Honorable mention for Diana.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath.
'22. Honorable mention for Diana.
And final entry, the redhead. We all have to score this one.
Robert, you need to score this one. Yeah, Robert, you need to score this one too.
Here, I'll give it full screen for a minute while I, hang on.
That's a little too full screen. There we go. Okay, you can score now.
All right, we have a score.
Score is 22. Honorable mention for Karen Robinson.
Hey, Jim.
Hello?
Yeah, it's Sherry. I think you're missing one of my entries. I put in 3.
Oh, yes, and there's a reason for that, because you submitted 2 in general, and then you sent another email with another one in general. You're not allowed to put all 3 of your entries into one category. They have to be 2 general and 1 assigned, or 2 assigned and 1 general. You cannot enter in general. So the first 2 that you submitted in general are your submissions.
Okay. Can you just put the other one for next month, or?
Please resend it next month. Please,
Okay.
Yeah, just please resend it, because yeah, I will not remember what it is to go back.
Okay.
Months from now.
That's fine. It's okay.
Sherry, we're going to talk to Jim's secretary and make sure that, that happens for you next time.
It's not a big deal.
All right.
Okay, you guys want to take a 5-minute break and then we'll do critique?
Sure.
Yep.
Hey, is
Sounds
anyone else hearing that audible, almost sounds like a pigeon pecking on a microphone noise?
Yeah.
It's the redhead.
It's
Yes.
Yeah, I hear
Sounds
it.
like a respirator to me. Somebody's got COVID. Never mind.
okay, as long as I know I'm not going crazy or crazier.
All right, we'll reconvene in a couple of minutes here and we'll
Jim, I have a question. I tried to sign in with the same Zoom meeting thing on my iPad because watching this on the phone is frustrating. And it's telling me that it's unavailable. Is that because I'm hooked onto this one?
I don't have a clue. I don't know enough about Zoom to tell you.
It shouldn't be because I'm signed in on my laptop and I'm signed in on my phone because my speakers
Can
on my phone.
somebody resend me the link, please, and see if I'm going to try, because watching this on the phone is like, I don't get the beauty of the pictures.
You're assuming there is beauty to get.
Oh, there is.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Yes.
So if somebody would resend it to me, because whatever link I have on my email is not working on my iPad. Thank you.
Somebody send it?
Please.
Please send it? Okay.
Somebody send it.
I can't find it in my email, so. I got too many things attached to it, so it's like.
Look at all the empty chairs.
Yeah, I like how Wendy has that door in her picture. That's pretty funny.
Dan, what's your email address?
D as in David, RAO 21 @gmail. Thank you.
Jim, what are you eating? Ice cream?
No, it's beef lo mein and an egg roll.
Oh, Jim Hagan looks like he's eating something too. He's not showing us it's ice cream.
I don't remember ever having egg rolls before, but whoever brought the egg rolls at the Christmas party, they were really.
Oh, look at Jack's got ice cream. Yeah, those egg rolls were good.
Do we
At the
know
Christmas
who brought them? I can't remember.
It's for Lori.
I brought that, but that was from Costco. Very easy.
Oh.
You buy it and then put it in the oven, and then it's easy.
So you can get
I slaved over the Entenmann's counter for about 10 minutes.
Did it come through it?
So you can get those egg rolls at Costco, apparently. Where do you?
Yeah. You just follow the instruction, put it in the oven. I think it's about 15, 20 minutes.
Where do you find them in Costco? What part of the store?
The frozen section.
Where?
The frozen food section.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Diana, did it come through?
It did, but it's still telling me that it's an invalid link. I don't get it.
Huh.
With her having a.
Then, hey, then Diana, just go onto your Zoom app, the information in that came in with it, don't use the link. Go in the Zoom app and join the meeting and put the meeting number and password in. See if
Okay,
that works.
thanks. Okay, thank you.
I was going to ask on our meetings that we recorded, the last, I forget when it was, when we had the guy that came and had the thing with the cell phones, cameras and stuff. Did we record that one?
No, those guys, that's proprietary information. They, basically make their living from giving those talks. So they don't want us to record it because then, we can, some of them are less worried about that than others. But now these guys they're having a hard time making any money. So they've gotten pretty strict about not letting us record those talks. So
we still are able to record the intro, right?
well, we do, sometimes, but sometimes we forget. So
okay. Brian, on those egg rolls,
Yes.
yeah, you have to have a Costco Black card to go into the upper section. If you don't have a Costco Black card, you're not going to be able to get those type of egg rolls.
So I believe that because I believe Trump was a great president.
Okay, no politics.
Yeah, no politics.
Oh, Lori's got her Costco, but she's got a black card.
That allows us to get soul food, Robert.
See, that's what I'm telling you. There you go. You thought I was kidding, right?
Is that an example of
Lori's got a black
BPP?
card.
Yeah, that's BPP. You're right.
Really?
Hey, Fawn, I just double checked, and the invitations are being sent to your email address, to your correct email address that you're using, fong.shen2@gmail.com. The Zoom invitations are being sent to that email, so you're gonna have to check your spam.
So is there any advantage to this black card Costco? Because I've been a Costco member for years. I've never been
Yeah, you
Jim,
can buy
you said you got my email?
Yeah, I got your emails, and you've been getting invitations to that email.
Well, 2 times I didn't go straight to get your Zoom meeting.
So why is my question so funny, Robert?
Did you check I already pay money?
Say it again, Bob. What's your question? Say it
I
again.
said I already get the pay money, so why I didn't get the link?
She wants to pay her dues.
I pay from the website. It's
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we're ready to start.
Let's do that. Let's do it.
I'm not sure that we are. Not sure we're capable.
Robert's still laughing.
Well, now I know that Jack is my friend.
Could have planned
Yes.
that better, Robert.
A brother, so to speak.
That was great. Either way,
Okay,
Brian.
it's working. Quit moving around.
Either way, Brian, I still love you, no matter what.
Well, I never got an answer to my question if there's any advantage to the black card.
Well, in my world, there is.
Oh, okay. See, I don't think that way.
What does it say? Vertigo? Yeah, that's what Diana is giving us, vertigo, with her moving around her iPad constantly.
I lost my share screen button. I'm trying to find it again.
Yeah, they move things around with this lately. I don't know.
I'm
Well, I had it earlier.
sitting still now.
And
And they moved, the upgrade.
I had it earlier, and now I don't have it on my screen.
That's weird.
Is anyone
Williams,
else
I think you're
having
making
trouble
pigeons back there somewhere.
with this today? I've had several occasions where the screen just froze.
All right, I
Anybody
got it.
else having that problem?
I pay got a website.
I minimized and then maximized, and my button came back. So okay.
I want to know if Jim Mick is reliving the 60s with that background.
That's the inside of my head.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
let's do this.
All right. Here we go. All right. This image here, I don't know if you guys are seeing it on your end, has a really heavy yellow cast to it. You can even see that in the histogram going on here. And I also I've looked at this rock every year for 30 years, so I know what the colors really are. But,
There you go.
yeah, more like that.
So where is that taken if you're so familiar with it?
That's
New Mexico.
that's in the Jemez Mountains in New Mexico.
La Contra,
Las Conchas. Las Conchas Canyon.
Yep. Conchas Trail.
See here, take a look. Before, after.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a very heavy yellow tint in the image, but nice leading lines. The nice thing with this that we see that there's several pictures tonight in leading lines that we don't see is the leading lines leading to a visual payoff. We have some instances tonight where the leading lines don't lead to anything, but in this case they do. Robert, Jack, anything?
My problem with this photograph is I have a competing payoff. The competing payoff is on the left-hand rock. It's very similar to the end rock. So I'm not so. Let's just say I'm given this photograph to re-edit. What I would tend to do is take down the values that are leading up to the to the payoff, meaning the grass and all that stuff, and then accentuate the payoff with a lighter value.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only deal, because you do have at the top some light that's coming down, so I wouldn't want to confuse the two. The big rock on the left-hand side with my end payoff.
Mm-hmm. So, well, yeah, no, never mind. I'm not going to do that. No.
So basically darken the rocks on the left. Is that what you're saying, Jim or Robert?
Yeah, well, I'm saying take all of the values down except for the water and the other end.
Okay.
And then let that be my direct line to it. Because everything else, yes, now we're going down. Now we bring back up that one value. Just, it doesn't have to be that much, just a little bit. So what we're doing is we're giving that water a reason.
You see that, Sylvia? Got it?
So,
See what he's doing there, Sylvia?
so there.
Yeah.
You're muted, girl.
So what we've done is if we're saying that the two rocks are not the same.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I concur.
Lost her.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you. Just can't see it anymore.
Yes, Miss Verizon.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes, Miss Verizon.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Okay. Was this taken on our field trip last year?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay, nice.
It looks a little washed out to me. Maybe it's just I was surprised. It looks so much lighter than it looks like it was almost needed to come down.
It could be because you're seeing it, coming back to you over Zoom. On my screen, it does not look washed out. It has good contrast on my end.
Okay, good.
I was there about 6 weeks ago and they had that closed off. You couldn't even get there where that photo was taken.
Yeah, they're closing everything for Super Bowl. They're, setting up all this football experience. And I read that they closed Julian B. Lane Park.
Oh, really?
But I was there 6 weeks ago. They wouldn't have had it closed for the Super Bowl then.
Yeah, that was probably for COVID.
I don't know what that's about.
That's for COVID. Come on, guys, critique.
Robert, Jack, you have anything?
No, yes, this meets the criteria. You have leading lines and such. And as far as meeting the criteria, you've done that. I don't necessarily find this payoff again from my leading lines to be exceptional. What the heck do I mean by that? Is all the values again are the same.
So are you saying that you would like it better if it wasn't a leading line submission?
No, I would like it better if some of the values were taken down and darkened.
And Silver, he saw this without it being washed out like it is on Zoom, that's FYI.
So when the values go down, like so, the lines become much stronger. Absolutely.
Well, she was saying it looked washed out.
Well, no matter what it is, it's still even. If it's washed out or even if they're down, they're still evenly toned. Now, what he's doing right now is bringing all those other values down. So when those values go down, now you see the definition of everything. And that leading line that's going into it, those lights that are right in the center portion of it becomes very pronounced. So that means I don't leave that area as quickly.
So here's your before, after.
Can you see the difference?
You.
Anybody? Nobody?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of difference, and there's one, this is a nice composition. I don't want to take away from that. I got to compliment her on how sharp everything is. On the other hand, that bright blue spot in the very middle is somewhat distracting, but then also the two streaks, that one there in the middle. It just doesn't go with the rest of the nice yellow colors there. And then the two streaks in the sky.
The airplanes.
The
airplanes in the sky.
Those could have been cleaned out of there.
Visually distracting.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, but the composition has a lot of strength in it. That telephone pole right in the middle of the screen, right there, coming off above the blue light, that telephone pole could have been removed from there, and I think it would have been a little less distracting. Those are my thoughts. It's got some strengths, and then it's got those little things that are distracting.
Thanks, Jack.
Also, that bright white light all the way in the left corner. Never mind, it's not that important.
There?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Jim, I have a question. So, you applied a gradient filter to that?
2 gradient filters, yes.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Now, on this particular photograph, this is an opportunity that I would rarely say this, is that this needed to be, you need to be right in the middle of that track.
That might be dangerous.
But what I'm getting at is that you're giving me a cross reference, which leads me directly over to the building. The light becomes a byproduct. So your angle of attack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Any better?
That's a lot better, yes.
I mean, I think I'd even take most of the sky out.
Yeah, I actually had it like that.
Yeah, like that. Because the sky, well, that's a little bit too much, but sky is a little bit distracting too.
Yeah.
It takes your eye away from the light on the train. This is better.
I'd like to submit it that way, please.
Some exposure and contrast there too. It's pretty flat looking.
Yeah.
Before if you take See,
The black and white.
see how flat the contrast and exposure is on that versus that.
Yep.
He was going for the moody look.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna go for the moody look, get in the mood and get right in the middle of the track.
You just want me to get killed.
Now I just want your cameras and lenses.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's all, we don't have to kill me to do that.
That's too
I think
much
it would look-
sky.
I think it would have looked nice in black and white, maybe.
Yeah.
I do like the colors in this one, but
Yeah.
but I
I
agree
enjoy
with
this one.
I agree with Lynn about the too much sky. Let's look at this in a real pano crop.
Yeah.
Which bridge is this?
Courtney Campbell.
Franklin?
It's Courtney Campbell. That's from the boat ramp.
Boat ramp, yeah.
Yes, hit it with black and white. Just see, let's see what, yeah. I mean, that's
Oh,
not bad, actually.
And the thing that really took me about with this one was the light cast from the lamps. It was semi-foggy out.
Yeah.
I like that look in there.
Yeah.
And Jim, you had a payoff at the end.
Yeah. Well, that was part of the composite. That was, I placed that there.
Okay.
The big explosion of light at the end.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That was, well, I took multiple images, one about F20, and I think this would, whatever this one is. And I just took one of the F20 with the flare in it and positioned it at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Nicely done.
Great shot, Jim.
Thank you. The light of my life. Was this done by Escher?
And this is in the title, All Lines Lead to Chanel.
Yeah,
If you don't have the resolution looking over Zoom to see it, that's
yeah.
There's the reference in the title right there.
You know, whoever did this photograph.
That's Lee.
Lee?
Mhm.
Okay. Is Lee here?
Yeah.
Yep.
I wish I could have had a much better, compelling photograph other than just the word Chanel. All lines lead to Chanel, but when I get to Chanel, I get this red, something that is not identifiable. So the only thing I have to go on is Chanel. Because you're leading me to it. But when I get there, I have this, that particular image.
What, so you're saying it's too far away?
No, I'm saying it's not compelling enough.
What if you popped up the color?
Well, it's not a matter of popping up the color. It's a matter of having a different image.
The color is popped in that anyway. It's not going to get more pop in that color than what's there. I am going to speak to the camera settings on this. If we look, we see the shutter speed was 1/680th of a second at ISO 12,800. You still could have shot this at this with with that lens. That could have been done at 1/125th of a second, and that would have gained you 2 stops on your ISO. You could have shot it at 3,200 instead of 12,800, and still had an acceptable shutter speed at 1/125th of a second. You could have gained 2 stops on your ISO by dropping your by going that on on your shutter speed.
I didn't realize it was that high.
Now, I will give you this, Lee, on this. What Jim has just mentioned is something that we all fail to take a look at when we're shooting a picture. We respond to the situation, but we don't necessarily make the situation a greater gain for ourselves, meaning that I'll make a shot. The shot looks good on the back of the camera, but I don't consider the fact that I'm increasing the noise in there. And so these are the things that we have to think about: the quality of the enlargement. And unfortunately, I don't want to push this thing out there like this, but as a professional, I have to think about that every single time as to what the quality of the enlargement is going to be.
And even at 12,800, it's still still cleans up pretty decent without jumping into, crazy high values here in Lightroom.
What I don't understand, it's a static image. Why not do it at 160 ISO?
Your
Well,
peak moving around.
this is handheld in a and also you don't want too much blurring of movement of these people and stuff. So 1/125th of a second still would have freeze the motion. When you're getting into that range, it's getting a little dicey.
Yeah, you're starting to talk about putting up a little tripod and then security coming over.
Yeah.
Really? If you put up a tripod, they won't let you take the photo?
And
You wanna
malls?
have mall security
No.
on you in a heartbeat and set up a tripod in the mall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah, most of the malls.
Why would they care?
Private
Brian,
property.
most of the malls say no photographs allowed.
Yeah, but he's lucky he got away with shooting with that camera in there without mall security being on him, because usually that's the case. They won't let you shoot with anything that looks like a anything different than a cell phone. You're pretty much if security sees you, they're going to stop you.
Yeah, it's private property.
And if you want to be guaranteed to be seen by security, put it on a tripod.
Yeah. He'll be out there in a minute.
Yep. But as Lynn said, it is private property. It is not a public location. It technically is private property, and you have to abide by their rules. Yep. This is gorgeous.
Yep.
I did a search on this image, and this image has been used on the internet a number of times by other professionals who made the shot. Lee did not make this.
You're so mean.
Well, he's got good taste in what he copies. This is it.
There you go.
I gave him a good grade just because he picked the right one.
Right.
That's a great foreground, and great depth of field, from that foreground combined with that background and the colors, the reflections, the lines leading to a great payoff. Yeah, everything works in this one.
Yep, great payoff on this one.
Thank you.
I'm gonna call altered reality on this one.
Man, is it?
Because
Okay.
that's not the real moon.
No, wait. Yeah, it is a real moon. However, I just enlarged some. It's actually, this is a stacking.
Yes, because
Yeah, it's a stacking for the foreground, and the background, the moon is smaller, but I probably increase about half of the size.
yeah,
Right.
because that's not a 24 millimeter moon by any stretch.
Yeah, they were very, very small. So it was enlarged, but it's the same moon. I just use a transform, enlarged it.
Mhm.
Slightly modified.
But
I think that's a great try. I think changing the moon will make it a great shot. It's a great angle to take the bridge and the moon and all that.
great,
Give it another shot.
great, like you say, and great, thinking and planning and and setting up and and working out a shot.
What bridge are we talking about here?
In the middle.
Sunshine Skyway Bridge.
Oh, yeah, there is. a
Skyway Bridge.
So
Was that taken from Fort DeSoto?
Yeah.
Oh.
There you can see the flag there and the Fort DeSoto flag right there. Yep. Now,
so yeah, Lee Wynn, no, you get great credit for this one.
also, Glenn, I know on October 24th, 2020, the moon rose way, way over here. It didn't rise over the bridge.
So how do you be there at that time of day? They close at sunset.
Well, it's right on that time. They close at before change the time, so it's 7. So they closed at 7. We're there 6:30. So this was shooting right at time. So I wish we could stay longer, but you have to go. So that time the sunset is coming from an opposite side. So they rock. I call rock. They're bright, shining sunset on the rock. Another side is the moon come out.
Right.
Yep. Good. Where's this, Lee Win? Is that in Patagonia?
No, this is in Canada.
Canada, okay. Oh,
That's nicely done.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, another great shot.
That's another great foreground and line with a great payoff and beautiful color palette in this one.
Thank you.
See, Luann, Jim doesn't go to Canada very often. I know that you moved those mountains over into the place there. Just kidding.
Nicely done.
No, you weren't.
Hey guys, let's move it along. It's 8:30.
Okay, all right. Caesar is not here, is he?
Yeah, he is.
He is? Okay, great. Beautiful leading lines. I mean, the classic leading lines. You know, what would make this shot a 10 is to have a guard at the end of that.
Or an inmate running down the hall.
Yeah.
Well, that would have been altered reality.
An inmate running away.
With the guard chasing him.
Even just some human element at the end.
Yeah, you could, if you had somebody with you, Caesar, you could have had him gone there and shoot him. Like
They could just be walking down the other end of that hall. That would actually bring the humanity to this.
I had the exact same thought. Boy, if there were just a person at the end of that.
Yeah, in an orange suit.
Well,
I want to know how you got that shot, because you can't walk into there.
Well, actually,
if you have a black card, you can.
Yeah, well, only you have one of those. I have a white card. It doesn't get me into jail.
Yeah, that was a access of shut down and distressed buildings that a camera group arranged a tour. I think perhaps that was either the first or the second tour that had ever been done at that location.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's an inactive prison. And as I walked down toward the end of that catwalk, I realized that it would be a great shot if I could compose it just right. And I had my tripod with me, and I just adjust my settings and took the shot.
It's a great shot.
I believe that in San Francisco, that prison that closed.
No, that's in.
Not yours. I'm not talking about yours. I'm talking about the prison in San Francisco.
Yes.
That's Alcatraz, you mean?
Alcatraz. I believe they do tours as well.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So you can have access to certain these things, the ones that are closed.
Yeah, that was Lorton Prison in just south of Washington, D.C. Yep. That was a D.C. prison that had been at issue for decades because there was always nefarious things going on at that prison. So they were glad to close it. And I believe there's developments going on in and around that facility. It still exists today, but it's not used as a prison.
That's a really neat shot.
Yeah.
This is a great composition, Caesar.
Absolutely.
I really love, the lead with this guy leaning with this rope, and you got the framing on the jet, and the line. That's a great composition.
Yep. Now, I was a shooter for the Special Olympics, and they do that plane pull every year. And so I realized that the ideal composition would be to catch the guy at the end of the line and capture it all the way down to the aircraft wheel strut.
Awesome.
Technical points if you're going to do any more with this.
Mm-hmm.
You got there's some spots.
I saw those and I went, "What is that?" But I'm glad you realized it.
And there's some pretty severe chromatic aberration here. So
okay.
You see the pink on this side and the green on this side. So
I need to be careful with that. Thank you.
there is some chromatic aberration on those contrast.
So will Lightroom take care of that? Jim, try to get and see if Lightroom will take care of it.
Lightroom will take the green and the pink, but it'll still leave this white line,
Right.
in this space that you would still have to deal with like a small clone stamp in darken blending mode. But yeah, if you go into lens corrections here and get these defringe sliders here and get your colors right. See the green on the left, how I'm making the green go.
Okay, I got you.
And then up the guy in the front with the pink, I'm working on that now. So it still does leave this, contrast halo here that it's in Photoshop easy enough. But you can see the color fringing is now gone using this panel right here.
Where did you get that, Jim?
It's the lens correction panel.
In the manual section?
And you go in manual.
Okay, cool.
So
and what caused that white part on the head, on the face?
The contrast. That's contrast halo.
Huh. Okay. You have me so freaked out with that every time I do a shot now.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Except
it's working.
For sure.
Okay, this is one of those leading lines with no payoff.
Yeah. Yep, no payoff on this one.
However,
this one has a payoff.
That has a big payoff. Dave. Did Dave leave?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
You hear me?
Man. Oh, did you place this thing there? I mean, what cued it? You just happen to have your camera there? What was the deal?
It took me 3 days to get this. I saw him one day the first time I went to this forest preserve and went back every afternoon.
Wow.
Hey, Jim, do me a favor. Let's take the top off that.
Yeah, that skyline.
And then a little bit off the left-hand side.
Out there?
Right there. Yeah,
Also, look at the placement now.
yeah. Better.
Nice shot, Dave.
I'm curious, Dave, and is it something in post-processing that has given this the wolf almost has like a painterly look in the face and stuff with the fur? Is that something in post that's brought that in? Or?
Could be a little bit because I really tried to sharpen him up and.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, even the snow looks a little weird.
Yeah,
Up close.
yeah, the something in the snow, and the snow and the fur have an unusual visual quality to them.
Question to the photographer, Jim. Did you also take out the shadows underneath the fox? Because I can see the shadows in the vegetation.
The shadows are gonna be behind. They'll be behind the roof.
The coyote.
Yeah, you can see it way back in the back.
The
Behind him.
was up on a path where the sun was.
Okay.
That's
great lighting.
Yeah, it's like low lighting.
Yeah, it was
Brian?
late.
This is not in focus. I actually couldn't find anything in here that was in focus. The whole image is out of focus. See that? Especially look at the look at the details, the branches and stuff. It's just not in focus.
Wait a minute, I finally got unmuted. How would I possibly get a photo like that that nothing is in focus?
Moving the camera around, or just the particular lens is not sharp, or or something. But I mean, obviously, it's we're not lying to you. It's out of focus.
I mean, if everything, the trees are moving, but even if what is the ground out of focus
Yeah, I can't find anything that's,
Okay, so let's ignore that. If it wasn't out of focus, would it be a decent shot?
The shot itself is decent. The subject and shot is not.
I don't know what that means.
That means that you have a leading line subject matter. That's what it's supposed to be, and your leading line that you're using is a road that's leading me to the trees.
Oh, okay.
So, but your shot itself, had it been in focus, yeah, it's a nice shot.
Okay.
Nice warmth to it. Every line is not a leading line.
Okay.
Is this Cades Cove?
No, this is Merritt Island, Black Point Drive.
Oh, I still have to get there.
Nice clouds.
Lynn, I want to take off.
Perfect day for infrared.
I want to take off half of the left side.
Half of the left side, okay.
I want to take off half of the left side.
Then it made it kind of look weird because it cut off all those beautiful clouds.
Well, now that's why I want to take off half of the left side.
Because it's about this, right?
That's why I want to take off half of the left side.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, for what the assignment is, it's about this.
Okay.
And so that's the same thing with Brian's photograph. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful clouds. I love them.
There's a piece of fine art.
Yes.
I found this very compelling. It was, my eye just kept drawing into the baskets that are on the wall. And I'd move away, but my eye keeps going, and the pillow right there, it's just a great composition.
Yeah, super.
I think it's a little bit tilted.
Made for black and white.
Isn't it a little tilted? The horizon isn't quite straight.
The pillows aren't level on the bed. I don't know about,
I'm looking at the woodwork and
look at that edge of the table is level. It's the pillows that are throwing you. It's the pillows that are throwing you off. But it's the table's level. The shot is level with that line on the table there. Yep. Yeah. The shot is level as far as the horizon goes, but it's kind of an optical illusion, I think.
It is an optical illusion.
And with the way these baskets are arranged, with the spacing to the top of the frame is visually appearing that way, but it's not. It's optical illusion. Very nice.
Too many leading lines?
I'm curious as to what's going to happen, but in this one, I don't need the bottom.
When I was looking at this, the kind of issue I had was that these pieces of the tower just running into the bottom of it down here and having space up here, and I was, I thought to myself, okay, well, just do something like this with it, and not have this little pieces of the tower just intersecting with the bottom with this gap down here, just even that much.
Yeah, I played around with it, but I couldn't decide whether to do it that way or not. So, oh well. But I just kind of thought there was a lot of lines leading this one. I mean, there's just I didn't know if there was too many lines or what. But.
That was my only nitpicky little issue with this.
I'm going to nitpick it a little bit further.
Okay.
And I'm going to go abstract on you as far as lines, because there are a whole bunch of lines. And because there are so many lines, Jim, take the bottom up until you get to the lily pad. Keep coming right about there.
Okay.
Now, I can argue in that particular photograph right there. Tap letter F for me, just to go to full frame. On the left-hand side, everything is pointing toward that tower. Right-hand side, everything is pointing toward that tower. In the foreground, everything is pointing toward that tower.
Mhm. Okay. So I just gave too
And
much.
that would be leading lines?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to be straight.
Look, leading here, leading there, leading here. As Robert says, it all leads to that. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Doesn't have to be a straight line.
Mm-mm. That's why I said I need you to go outside your normal way of thinking.
You know me, I will.
Yeah.
I just gave you too much. That's okay.
Hmm. And don't ever stop, Lynn.
Okay. All right.
All right, I know. Move on. Move on.
Move on. We're running out of time here. We got a lot more to do.
Yeah.
All right.
I find this one visually disappointing with these nice matching pieces here and then chopped off right here.
I was, man, thank you, Jim, for taking the words out of my mouth. Why? Why did you do that?
That was
That's
Catherine. Catherine's not here.
Yeah, she's not here to explain.
Okay.
But that,
Man.
yeah,
Oh, man.
that's my issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Why cut that off? Yeah. Okay. Nice mood.
Yeah, absolutely. The blue orange thing is working really nice.
Yep, the complementary colors. Yeah.
Diana, why did you label this about the bridge?
With
She's so
labels.
silent.
Yeah, I'm here.
Why'd you label
I
that?
want to know. I don't know. I don't know what else to call it. Rocks. I hate labels. I don't know how to make them.
You could take a page from Karen's book and just go untitled.
Yeah, well, it could have. But I am very curious, and I'm not hurt or anything like that, although I might, commit harikari tonight. But I'm wondering why I got such a low score.
Point to me your leading lines and point to me and then tell me your title.
Well, why does the title matter?
Title matters a lot. Yeah.
Oh, crap. I should have done,
photography,
if that's the case.
A title, when you give something a title, that's an important part of
Well,
the.
I didn't know that. So if
because your title is your chance as the artist. That's your opportunity to inject a little bit of explanation and a little bit of what you're thinking to your audience when they view the image.
Okay, so question, if I hadn't untitled it, would I still have gotten a yucky score?
Well, let's look at your lines. Your main line is the bridge.
No, the water.
Now that's what you see. That's what I'm telling you how your audience is seeing it.
Well, I have to get a new audience. Okay, I'm all kidding aside, because I want to learn from this, obviously, because my feelings were hurt. No, I'm kidding. No, but why would not the water and the rocks leading up to that bridge?
All right, let's take the bridge out of it for a second.
Okay.
Crop the bridge out.
Oh, you want me to crop that out?
Yeah.
There.
All right, you have a much better leading line right there.
What's my payoff?
It doesn't have to have a payoff here. The water itself is the payoff. But when you go across, that becomes a structure.
Oh.
And once it becomes a structure, we then focus on it. Just like if you put a human in there, we focus on it.
Oh.
And so then we try to marry the foreground to the background.
Huh.
And well.
Okay, do that crop again, please, Jim.
And you're asking about the score. I gave it a little bit of a high score. Robert gave it in the middle, and the low part of the score came from third judge. So, but I'm going to point a few things out to you.
Yeah, I would, please, and I mean that. I thought about that, taking that out.
Yeah, this right here, because you as the artist, you're leading us here to the bridge. This is your payoff, and then we've got this bright spot that pulls high.
Yeah. So, Jim, Can you crop that and see? Yeah. See, I thought about doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And something else we talked about with Caesar's image, with the chromatic aberration. Just so you know, there's a little bit of it in here too. See your
yeah.
and over there's especially over here in this corner and these rocks here, these light colored rocks,
Oh,
rocks,
wow. Yeah.
really, have a lot of it on the edges of the.
And what caused that, Jim?
It's chromatic aberration. It's your lens.
Okay, so
see it?
question. Yeah, no, definitely. Question: can you do that thing that you did with the manual thing?
Yeah, right here. So look, see it disappear?
Damn, that's awesome.
Gone. See? There
Okay, cool.
And now it's gone.
Hey,
So,
see what I'm doing right here?
yes, I do. So question then, how do I know?
Because if you
how do I
print this big, that's going to show in print.
Okay, how do I know to, and good, because you're gonna have to print that eventually. But how would I know? That's 100 to 104, was that my 100 to 400 lens?
It says 24 millimeters. It says you shot it at 24 millimeters. So,
oh, okay. I might have been, oh, that's my 24 to 105. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because that lens doesn't usually,
at the 24 end.
yeah, that doesn't usually have that much aberration.
So
wonder if it's something I did in post-processing.
No.
It's
the contrast of the elements that it's recording.
Okay, thank you.
The second part of that, Diana, is that you said that it doesn't normally happen. It doesn't normally. It's been happening all along. If you look for it,
right.
If you're not looking for it, you won't see it.
Right. Is there anything I can do with the camera? And I'm sorry to take up so much.
No, there's nothing. You just look for it at the end.
That's the optics of the lens, and you can't change that.
Okay, thanks.
There we go. Straight.
See that?
Jack, you see what he did?
You guys watch that?
Jack, you see that? You're muted. Jack, you're muted.
Yeah, I saw it. I forgot about ABC. I started with XYZ and forgot about ABC. That comes first, right? The basics.
So, yep, just that's pretty slanted over there.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Looks like it's getting ready to fall into the ocean.
That doesn't deserve any more than 20. Who scored this thing?
You did.
That's Bart Harper.
No, I didn't.
That looks so much better.
Yeah, that's that helps straighten things out. Okay. Is there a payoff on this one?
Yeah, there is now.
Thank you.
You actually have a dual set of lines. You've got the foreground.
Right.
Foreground of this. You've also got this line going here, which.
Yeah, the one that takes it to the left. Yeah.
Yeah, works nicely together.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the big payoff. That, my goodness, look, we've got two lines. We've got one going to it and the other one going triangular to the other side. I thought you were going to get crazy about that, but I forgot about ABC.
Right. It made a big difference, though, Jack.
Yeah, it does.
There's a leaf over on the left-hand side.
Yes, right here.
Yeah, right.
Right there.
Don't tell me, Robert.
Are you serious?
And it's also there's camera motion. This was handheld at 1/30th of a second.
No, absolutely not. This was on a tripod on a rainy day.
Did you remember to turn the image stabilization off the camera when you put it on the tripod?
I think I did, but I can't swear.
If you don't turn it off, it actually makes your image worse, and it will add motion because.
Yeah, very much aware of that, but and sometimes I do make that mistake, but I try to remember to turn it off.
That's what this looks like. This is motion, and if you're on a tripod, then it's very likely that forgot to switch that off and add the motion in the image stabilization. Add
Hey, hon.
to it.
Hon.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I accept that.
The
But
other
it was
thing-
definitely on a tripod on a rainy day. Lori and I sat in that rain waiting for the people to stop, going into that building.
It was cold.
And it was cold.
Would you darken that green leaf that's kind of stopping my eye as I go down the?
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got this and you've got that, and even a little cloning or whatever.
Hey, honey, what time do I have?
Diana, can you mute yourself, or can somebody mute Diana? Okay.
I'll mute her.
She was talking to
I
Jim.
have a very
Did
similar.
you say mute or neuter?
I know where this is. I have a very similar photo to it, but I avoided the people problem by getting there right at sunset, just before everything closed, and so there was nobody there.
This one needs some dehaze and clarity and contrast.
Yeah, it's pretty flat.
There's a lens flare, and this is compensating for the lens flare. Let's go back and look. You see all this washed out right here? There's a really bright light up here that's striking the front element of the lens, and you've got just a big, hazy, soft lens flare through this whole part of the image. And those adjustments that I did just now are helping compensate for that lens flare from this bright light that's up in the corner.
So Jim, when do you use dehaze on that? Just to get rid of that lens flare? Yeah.
Yeah, because the lens
Get
flare.
rid of the lens flare?
The lens flare created haze, in the image. So dehaze is exactly, dehaze and clarity, plus some contrast are the are the tools that are.
Did you increase the clarity or decrease it?
Betcha, see.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay.
Positive on the dehaze, positive on the clarity, positive on the contrast versus.
Yeah.
There's the original image with.
Before you move forward, Jim, I want you to take the contrast and move it all the way to the left. Contrast, regular contrast, move it all the way to the left. Yes, all the way to the left. Now you see haze right there, Diana?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I lowered the contrast is going to now not show any differences between your lights and darks. It sort of brings them together. Dehaze is like contrast on steroids.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And last, what's the problem with the picture?
The lens flare that's lowering all the contrast in this part of the image.
How to fix?
That's what we just did. Okay, dehaze, clarity, contrast.
Okay.
See the difference before?
Okay.
After.
Yes. Okay.
This is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Is this this is shadows.
Here, isn't it?
This is shadows on a wall that and sunlight and shadows on a wall or on the ground or something.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Shadows on the wall.
Yep. Yeah, very interesting.
Karen.
Yes.
I'm being very sincere about when I say this. You've gone from the McDonald's to the Ruth's Chris Steakhouse rather quickly. What I'm saying is you have refined your eye.
You have so helped me.
Very much so.
Yes.
I concur with Robert on that.
So you are seeing.
It was so weird because this was an eye doctor and I was riding my bike and I saw it and they were redoing the front. That's how come the shadows were there, because they had some, like white board up there. And I went by the next day and it was completely different. It was just.
Yeah, stop. That was good.
That's great.
It was
Yeah.
so cool.
Do it now. You know, I say do it now.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Nice,
All right.
nice backlighting and silhouette on this. Sorry, I had a mouthful of beef lo mein.
You know, all of the elements are there, but the shot is not working for me.
And why is that?
Why is that?
All right, I go to the pelican's mouth. It's not open enough for separation. All of the energy is on the right-hand side. I don't need all of the left.
So click, yeah, cut off the left-hand side. There we go.
And so
That's a little better.
it's a little bit better, but there's something about the blackness of the bird that's a little too black. I know it's hard to say. It's a little too black for me.
I didn't think I'd ever hear that from you.
I know, you know. Even I have my limits. But yeah, you got all of the energy right there.
Okay.
And it's still I think the mouth part is the part that's the problem with me.
So we should his mouth is open wider.
Yeah. This one is missing a human element.
Needs a soldier at the other end.
Or just somebody walking by.
Or looking at the memorial would be better.
Yeah,
like kneeling down, looking like they're crying or something.
Or yeah, it's just some other human element in there in order to pay off the valor, the courage, and the sacrifice. Some guy walking by with his dog will do it.
So you're saying that the symbolic representation of the guards standing at attention, although they're statues, doesn't do it for you?
Now I'm saying it's not enough. Great shot. Don't get me wrong about this, but it's all static. It's all there. What is all this for if it's not for the human element?
I hear you, Robert.
I'm not saying that you can always do that, but what I'm getting at in these shots is that sometimes a shot is a really good shot, and then sometimes it's an extraordinary shot simply because of the element of surprise that's in there. So there you go.
What I love about these is I learned how to see different things. That's a shot I would never have thought, to think outside the box. I really like that, but.
Yeah, great composition.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Whose shot is this?
Catherine's.
Is Catherine here?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right. What is that? Is that like a tiki hut or someplace you stay or live?
Looks like, yeah, because it looks like, yeah, some sort of.
Interesting, highlighting the geometric, shapes and the patterns here.
Mm-hmm.
She's got this within, her trademark border here, which makes it a little awkward. But this right here is, really detracts from the whole everything else that's going on.
Agreed.
With the darks and the lights and the contrast and everything. Yeah.
Like a cabin.
Yeah, this is just out of place within the rest of this composition. And this is also hers. A slight, possibly a slight downward take the camera down just a little bit, I would say, just to give a little bit more space here. And possibly it could have broken that connection there. And even if it's not enough to break that connection, just use Photoshop and a clone tool and break that connection, separate this from that connection right there is kind of that for me, that's a visually hard thing.
Could this have been used as a leading line?
No.
Okay.
With
the tree pointing to the,
these elements are in a line, but I don't say they lead to anything particular. Just like as somebody said earlier, just because it's a line doesn't make it a leading line.
Got it. Thank you.
I like the textures, the colors, and the dried wood. It's an unusual. It's a captivating picture.
Yep.
And beautiful use of muted colors on it.
Agreed. And this one loads up. This one there. Now it's loaded up. Look at the difference in your tree branches and leaves in this one, Brian, versus talking about being in focus. This one is in focus. You see the difference here?
Yep.
Yeah, if you compare those, side by side, there's a tremendous difference in in that as far as being able to see in focus or not in focus.
Is that big house in not Safety Harbor, the other place on Victoria Street?
It's in South Tampa.
Oh, okay. Jim, I have a question. Would you not have taken that red tree out?
I agree with you, Diana.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I thought about it. I took actually some other stuff on the left side out, but I thought that added interest. But I was surprised how much I was able to improve this in post. The grass didn't really look that green when I was there with my eyes, but post really brought it out.
Yeah. It's visually incongruous with the rest of the image, and it's on the left side. You keep it's pretty. It's a pretty dominant thing versus what we know you want to show the audience.
Okay. This is a panel of 3.
On your shot here, Brian, boost your yellows.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Boost your yellows, the brightness of it, and boost the yellows. Here's where I'm going with this. Anytime you have a bunch of lights everywhere and anywhere, what you're going to do is you're going to look at everything and anything. Your eye needs to be grounded first. I need to have a landing point, a point to jump off from. And yellow is very, very dominant already. So give it some more dominance so that we know that is, there you go. There, so that we know that is where you want me to go.
Okay.
Again, I've said it 100 million times. Give me a hero somewhere.
How is it technically as a panel?
As far as the pano stitching goes, it's good. Did you consider making it an HDR pano, doing bracketing 3 exposures on each of your pano shots to bring out detail in the shadow? The shadows are really blocked up, but there's a lot of detail in the shadows, and done correctly. This is just kind of faking it right here. But if you had 3 exposures to work with, see how much more there is in those shadows that you could show to your audience.
I guess I was enough concerned about the panel. I didn't want to make it too complicated. But the whole point of me presenting these tonight is so I can learn to do better next year.
Yep. Okay. Here's what I'm saying about
Lightroom will actually handle HDR pano.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm talking. Here's your see what I'm talking about shadows. The shadows being so blocked up versus, when we kind of go to.
Yeah, but I mean, my thought there is it almost doesn't even look like twilight on that shot.
Well,
that's why I'm saying bracket some exposures so that you can composite, or work from your 3 exposures and deal with, and also, we can also take this back, now here, on your sky, as well, and kind of bring your sky back into a twilight, condition.
So what do you think about my choice to do it at twilight versus when it's dark?
Oh no, twilight is great. Yeah. And and like I say, even just what we've done here, even with your original exposure, now you can now see so much more of what's going on here. In fact, you can even see that with all this North Pole crazy Christmas stuff going on. This is titled "Jesus is the Reason" is your title, and you got this here, and now you can actually see. Okay, well, at least they did have the manger scene, and and Jesus was in there. In the original rendition, the manger scene is gone. Now we've got Jesus is the reason, but Jesus ain't in the picture.
Yeah. By the way, the reason I gave it that title is because I didn't want the viewer to be like, "What does that say?" I just wanted to get them past that. Does that make sense?
Yep. So, but I'm saying, but now we've got a lot more of, there's a lot there, and now we can see, a lot more of, all that's there. This also, foreground needs to be, taken down, taken down here as well. Further that out a little more. But yeah, there's there's a starting point, and this is
Yeah, I see it. Okay. Thank you.
This does have visual impact. I'm going to grant that.
Yep.
And there's no doubt about what you're supposed to be looking at in that. And then as Robert was talking about a landing point, there's no missing the landing point in this one.
Right. Right.
My only issue is these bright spots in the top hand corner and the right hand bottom corner.
Over here, yeah.
Those are taking my eye right away from that red dress.
That I'm in agreement with you, Lynn. That was my exact same thoughts. Was okay, the bright area up here, the bright area down here. At least, as I looked at it for a minute, I did at least realize, okay, they are on a diagonal with this, and if you're bouncing back and forth between this, you do bounce through the red dress. And it's title tattoo, and there's a preponderance of the word tattoo in this. I'll grant that.
Yeah. But it goes to the light, middle, and dark tattoo.
And it does read light to dark from left to right.
Yeah.
I get that. But,
all right, this is stupid impact. I mean, just stupidly good.
You you really nailed that with a 500 millimeter lens.
I'm talking about nailed it and then sealed it.
I have about this guy was coming straight at us, and I just kept shooting, and I had about 10 shots.
That's what I was going to ask. How hard was that thing to track in your frame in a 500 millimeter lens?
It was not easy. I mean, it's cropped somewhat, not a whole lot, because he was actually flying right at me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I couldn't see any of this on my camera because I was actually a little exposed. And when I got it home and I saw I had 2 shots where he was actually looking at me, and I'm like, holy crap.
Yep. And go ahead with your question.
Was this handheld?
Yes, I don't shoot anything but handheld when I'm doing
Holy
birds.
banana brains.
That's what I'm saying. Handheld
You
with
know,
a 500
that's a
millimeter
heavy
lens.
lens.
Tracking and framing and locking focus on that thing at 500 millimeters, handheld. That's
But I had it at 3200th of a second. You've got to have a really fast shutter speed to do this.
Yep.
That was amazing.
Yep.
Makes
No,
the difference.
that's an achievement, Lynn.
What about your f-stop, Lynn?
That's the lowest. That's I'm trying to get as much light in.
Okay.
So at that distance though, f50 at 5.6, it's fine. All I'm trying to do is get the eyes in focus mainly.
But everything is in focus. That's incredible.
This is what I was saying about a shot and then a shot with impact.
Mm-hmm.
Had the bird been looking forward, it would have been same composition. But the thing that sets this apart is that it makes eye contact, human to animal contact, and that's the thing that actually gives it that impact that we're looking for.
And this bird has that owl. It's a northern harrier, so it's a hawk, but it's got that owl face, which gives it even more of a face that looks at you, and you just the eyes just hit you. Like I said, I don't know, about 10 of them. I had 2 that he was looking at me. So
nice
I was like surprised.
That's a great.
Because all I did was I saw him coming at me, and I just started going. I mean, he just flew right over the top of me. So.
Great shot.
And you know what? I think Fong's been paying attention to Susan Anderson.
I think so.
Yeah.
Fong, here's what I want you to know, Fong.
Cool, actually.
This is cool. This is one of your best shots.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes.
But this girl need a little bit nervous. So.
Yeah, but it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
Yeah. The red and 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 the red, all coming together, with that girl's gesture and expression and her eyes locked on the camera.
Now, let me point out something, Fong,
yes.
and to the rest of the crowd. Had her hand crossed into the boots, it wouldn't have worked.
I don't understand.
He's saying if the hand had been up here and intersecting with the boots, then that.
Oh, okay. So a little bit far. Yeah.
The gesture would have lost its impact.
Yes, and because it separates, then everything, all the elements stand on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, this is an excellent shot.
Your title was good too. Because I always think of Hickory Farms at Christmas time for shopping. She's got her red boots on, her reindeer.
That is perfect.
Woman's at the counter buying something.
I'm not used to seeing kids that young wearing masks.
When you might want to, when you put something together like this, Fong.
Yes.
Blend the seams better.
Oh, okay. Because Chinese Lunar New Year, I invited for play accordion. So I need to put in Zoom meeting. I just put one picture on Zoom meeting for Chinese guy Lunar New Year. So I created this picture.
Jim, hey,
yes.
This is yours, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This is a beautiful scene. Love the reflection in the window. Beautiful. And I'm gonna make a suggestion to you. I would love to see this printed or whatever, but this all over here, clean sky, trees, and over here it looks like stained glass pattern and reflection of a building and everything going there. I'm gonna say that we don't need that window pane. Oh.
Yeah, much better.
It's that pane, that window pane on the left is out of place with the other window panes you have going on here with what's represented in it. Just do this, and oh man, that's gorgeous.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, this was a church window that I just happened to see the reflection of the trees in.
Yep.
I didn't think about it.
Yeah, the stained glass over here. I looked at that and I said, "Oh, that's probably a church window. Look at the stained glass."
Well, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad we have this now bigger than 59 kilobytes.
Yeah.
Needs a little chromatic correction.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll say tonight, the takeaway, the word of the night is chromatic aberration.
But beyond that, this is this has a nice feel to it.
Yeah.
This is visually appealing. With what's been done to it. It's kind of like it's moody in a soft and relaxing, Zen kind of a way.
That's Karen for you.
Too bad.
That's a compliment, Karen, in this case.
I took it that way. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, Sherry.
Yeah, she caught this one good.
This water reflection pattern back here is outstanding. This is that I really love the contrast between this, this bird and then this pattern and this color back here. That's that works really well.
It was even nicer in person. When I saw that bird just sitting there on the water like that,
Mm-hmm.
I just took it, and it's.
Yeah, that's a fantastic background for that image right there.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
That's a military bird. Camouflage background.
It was, that's pretty much natural. I took out a few branches, but that was about it.
Good job.
Thank you.
Bad day to be a catfish.
Yeah. It's small fish.
Yep.
I have a question on this shot. I can't remember what the score was, but I was surprised that it was a lot lower than what I thought it would have been, and I'm curious why.
Right, look at those white values.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's blown out.
Well, it's
really hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at the chromatic.
Yeah, it doesn't have quite the tack sharpness of the one we saw,
No, it doesn't.
before.
Okay.
And the background's a little bit busy behind where you're looking. Everything about this image sunset is to lead you to, okay, he's got the fish in his beak there, and you go to that, and the background's a little busy and things like that, so it doesn't, so score wise this is not going to hold up, like
that's winner right there.
Got it. Thank you.
That was taken at Mayaca River at sunset.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's just like almost like an environmental portrait. If it was a human, it would be like an environment. So I just sort of liked the background in it. I knew it wasn't going to score that high, but I don't really care because I like this shot.
Yep. Thanks for sharing.
Is that a real person in that boat? It just has a strange looking head.
He's got a cap on. Yes, that's a real person
Okay,
fishing.
there you go. I guess it was the eagle he was at. Okay.
This is why we like high resolution images and not thumbnails.
Yeah.
Now, on this one, I'm going to ask you, just for the sake of me being who I am, give me a 16:9 format crop of this. Thank you.
And I wanted to, what I was doing, I wanted to see, there's nothing that goes anywhere into the blacks. It's all gray. And so I wanted to see, okay, taking some of the tonal values actually down, you know, further into the lower end to see what that did for this image here.
This was a very foggy morning in my backyard.
So let's even go to, all right, from the crop. Okay. So what do you think of,
Yeah. It definitely needs that a little darker. It's a little flat, yeah.
yeah, because it is kind of flat, and you can see the histogram is showing, you know, nothing's really going into that end. So I wanted to just pull a little bit more down into the lower values. It gives some more definition. The subject that you're looking at right here, I feel it gives some more definition to the subject.
Yeah. So okay.
So my 16:9 crop is simply saying that I don't need the stuff above and below, but it gives me more of, and I'm going to use this term and hate me if you want, but it gives me more of a cinematic feel to it. Tap the letter F for me, and you'll get what I'm talking about here.
So we're going to jump from this, and then to let it catch up to me there.
Yeah, up to the top there.
For balance. And I mean, I would say even take maybe a little bit off the left.
There's a cloud over there that I like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
So
there's that cloud.
I'm okay with that. That's looking good right there. All right.
Let me tell you what I was thinking. I'm not arguing.
So it has
this. Simply saying, I'm not arguing with you. I think your suggestions are great. I was thinking what I saw that morning was a man all by himself on this big lake in the fog, and I wanted to portray as much of the lake as possible, and that's why I have so much negative space around him. And this little guy there in the middle of nowhere with that fog just fishing away, just very tranquil. It was a peaceful thing, and that's why I put so much negative space around it. I could have cropped it tighter. I agree.
Jack, I'm gonna stop you right there. Your negative space is not a problem at all. Not at all. I was simply pointing out a different way of seeing it, more like you would see it if you were in a movie theater. That was the only reason for that.
Okay.
This is more like an old. This is more like an old CRT television screen versus going to the theater.
That's the theater right there. That's all it is. That's the only difference. It wasn't to crop your image. It was just to give it as I mentioned, a cinematic feel.
Okay.
So you were valid in your thinking.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Boy, this is what I call rectilinear.
Great job keeping those vertical lines vertical and parallel, you know, through this image, and you know, really not destroying the geometry of those buildings, which is such a strong part of this composition.
So Lee.
Yes, sir.
So were you thinking rectilinear?
No comment.
How do you spell that?
Sounds like a medical procedure.
That's how they administered my vaccine.
Rectilinear. That's the RECTILINEAR. Rectilinear.
Rector what?
Rectilinear.
So
Is that in a sentence?
Good job, Lee. Were you on a balcony terrace, or was this shot through a window?
No, I was on a balcony. There's a restaurant balcony.
Mm-hmm. I was suspecting that because there's no glare, no reflections, and that's why I was thinking this was not shot through a window pane.
Oh, I'm gonna go back to say what I said. Does anybody know what a rectilinear lens is?
No.
All right, that was the reason why I made the comment. It's because it's one of those. Generally, when you shoot with a wide-angle lens, it has a lot of curvature to it.
Mm-hmm.
This has no curvature. So generally, the rectilinear lenses that you purchase are flatter. Is that right, Jim?
Yeah, and more expensive.
Way more expensive. So even though you guys thought I was making some kind of nasty joke, I was being very accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean
So
you
like a
weren't
shift
yourself?
tilt?
Now,
I thought you were doing both.
well, now shift tilt is a little bit different.
Yeah, that's the mechanics of actually shifting the lens with respect to the imaging plane, et cetera. Roberts is talking about an expensive lens with expensive optics in it to not have the wide angle curvature going on.
So you guys want to challenge me? Go ahead. I'm gonna win. Is this whose image is this? Sylvia?
Yeah.
Did you say it is Sylvia's?
Yes.
Sylvia, this is my kind of look.
This is a Lens Baby lens, and I'm a velvet Lens Baby velvet lens, and
Which one?
the velvet 85.
Velvet 85.
I just bought one of those too. I haven't used it yet though.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think that haloing. I think that aperture. Of course, you can't see what aperture you have on Lightroom if you don't write it down. I think I was a little too open because I was reading when you're way open with that lens, it tends to make a halo effect.
So.
Well, the lens maybe most of them give you a glow, so that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's not at all.
That's part of the whole effect in this one. That's I just wanted to what I was doing there was just to see with a little less negative space if it had more visual impact on what your subject was.
Right.
I was just doing this for comparison.
Tell Diana, I like my title on this. So Diana, this is when I think a title sometimes helps your photograph because
the title's that's a great title. I love the title on this one.
Yeah. She was saying I don't like titles to put titles, and sometimes it is very hard. But for me, when I looked at that, I went, "Oh my God, look at that little bean! It's dancing."
Yeah, no, and it's true, but it is very hard, and I didn't know that having a title that doesn't really evoke what you want to say, kind of whatever. But lesson learned. Most likely, I will not be titling my photos.
That can also work against you as well.
Oh, come on, give me a break.
Well, yeah, sometimes it does help. I've been in the same boat, Diana, where my titles screwed me over, and so I think about my titles very hard before I put them on the.
Yeah.
I think we've all been there. It's like it takes more time to think of a new title than.
Right.
And,
right. I have a quick question. So, what would you have titled that? Rocks?
What? No, wait, hold on. You make a very important point right there. The question you're asking, it's never what I would. It's always about what you want to say.
Well, I did, and it got shot down.
Then now you know not to shoot in that direction.
All right. If you were Diana, what would you have titled that? You know how I think, Robert.
I would say I'm going shopping right now.
Oh my God. All right, goodbye.
Next.
I'm done.
And that does bring us right to this image, because the expression that I see here in this girl.
I screwed up the title again.
Is the expression is not pensive. I don't see pensive in her expression at all. Do you know what the definition of pensive is?
Yes, thoughtful.
Engaged in deep, serious, or reflective thought. she's engaged in looking at the camera. I don't see her as being, you know, in deep, serious, reflective thought. I see her engaging you as the
So
photographer
did the title doom me on this one too?
to a certain extent. Not
Okay,
not
what
not
were
not greatly, no,
Okay.
but it, you know, it did have an effect, you know, to a small extent.
Okay. All right,
So if
what's
she
the
called
rest
it
of it?
engaging look,
Yeah.
would that have been better?
Yeah. I don't know. Girl with a melon.
Yeah, girl with a melon would have been better.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, also, I think the vignette is just a little heavy, don't you think, guys?
It's yeah, it is a heavy-handed vignette. There's no missing it. There's nothing subtle
Yeah.
about it.
I mean, I would have said like a little less vignette and then darken this rock she's sitting on,
Mhm.
because the rock is too bright. It's competing with her as well. So you know what? The
Yeah,
rock,
that's
you
a-
want our eyes on the rock. You want our eyes on her. So the her eyes are darker than the rock.
Yeah.
Do you even need all that down there?
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need the. I mean, you don't
I don't
need.
even, you know, I don't even see the, you know, the
You
bottoms
don't
of
need her feet.
the bottom of the shoes and the ankles here. I don't necessarily think that they played into the fact that you want us engaged in this part of the image.
Okay.
I have a question about on the original photo and cutting half of her feet off. What is the rule? Are you supposed to always keep all the feet in, or just like you're doing, just remove it all together?
It's all going to depend on a case-by-case basis, but in this case, just pieces of the bottom of the shoe and these exposed ankles right here are just, you know, visually detracting from this. This is where the meat of the image lies, you know, so to speak. You know, what the story that's being told is here, and none of this supports the story in this.
I always have trouble with cropping. I hope one day that when you guys go back to doing your the things that you were doing on Wednesdays, Jim, that you would do. I suggested it before. Cropping to me is one of the most difficult things, because I either do too much or too little, and I don't know.
And Jim Hagan, you asked about cropping on the. You don't want to crop at a joint.
Right.
So if you're gonna chop a leg off, chop it in the middle of the thigh, or you know the middle of the.
Yeah, you notice in this case it's between the ankle and the knee.
Yeah.
As Lynn says, not on a joint. It's
Mid calf is what I'm trying to think.
boom right there.
Yeah.
Well, concerning the cropping, though, what about her right arm? I mean, it looks like it's way too tight.
Yes, that's a little awkward too. That it's you know, touching, you know, and cutting out this side of the frame where you have this over here. That's a little bit visually awkward as well, as far as you say.
That might have been my cropping. I don't remember. I have to look back at this
You know,
shot.
slices off that elbow, which is visually awkward as well. You're right about that, Jim.
Thank you.
Now this one. This one has some weirdness going on in it. It's got a line through the image right here that everything below this line is soft, and everything above this line has been sharpened beyond imagination. So there's this line right through the image right here where we're soft underneath, and then everything is, you know, as sharp as broken glass going on.
I didn't sharpen it
above
though.
that line.
I didn't sharpen that.
It almost looked like it. I thought when I looked at that, I thought, was it shot through textured glass or something?
No, I didn't. Jim, take a look at the edits on it. I don't think I sharpened that.
We don't have any, you know, none of your editing information is in this.
The metadata?
No, that doesn't come up in there.
Yeah, no, everything.
Oh.
But
But I'm pretty sure I didn't sharpen that.
I'm pretty sure otherwise.
Okay.
Because
We'll look at it when Robert comes over.
yeah, these pixels are, these pixels are like, sharpened like nobody's business.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't, yeah.
Because below this line, this looks like the original capture below this line, and then you see there is a distinct line where all of a sudden it goes from soft to jagged.
Okay. I wonder if when I applied, you know how you do, you go through the, top to bottom on the thing, on the Lightroom scale. And I just wonder if I did that usual, mask. Never mind. I'll have to look when I go home. Robert, we're going to look at this shot.
Yeah, we are.
Other than Diana, other than that, it's a great, capture of behavior of the bird, and with the water splashing and like that. It's really hard to get in focus because there's so much going on. Because I know I've tried these kind of things, and my autofocus has a tendency to focus on the water rather than the bird. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
But it's a great shot. Other than that, the technical side.
I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Karen.
Yes, sir.
Are you there? All right. You have a black and a red here and a branch in the foreground. And the white on the bird, let's look at the black, white, and red. Now, the background itself is brighter than those values. What is that going to give you? It's going to give you the idea to look backwards more so than you're looking forward. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? If not, tell me. Did I just cut out?
No, you're there.
No, we hear you.
Because once those values go down, then the bird comes out.
Okay.
Yeah, and Karen, something you could do in here and take this into Photoshop and paint out some of that, use that kind of grayish brown color, pick it with your picker, and then use a brush, a big brush, and you can brush over all those dark areas and just kind of obliterate a lot of that.
Okay.
And it will be a lot less distracting.
Okay.
All right, now.
Hey, Jim, can you show us how to do whatever it was that Lynn just said in Photoshop?
I was doing something.
Can you take it into Photoshop and use whatever color picker thingy she said, please?
Lynn, what were you saying about using the color picker in Photoshop?
Yeah, go in and take it into Photoshop, and I'll show you what to do. I'll tell you what to do.
I wasn't listening to.
Yeah, just use the color picker.
Where is the color picker?
It's the little tool. It's a little tool on the toolbar. That thing right there, and pick it.
Where? Where are you?
Yeah, that one right there is
eyedropper
tool.
Where is that?
Eyedropper tool. And pick a color.
See it?
Yeah, pick a
I don't see
color
where
that's
it
gonna
is.
be a little darker.
Is it the eyedropper?
Pick the
7th tool down from the top.
Oh, okay, I got it. So how do you use that?
So now take it and put it on, I don't know, that kind of purplish color that's right by his beak or something, or whatever. Something that's darker than the bird.
This color here.
Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, that one there, right there. Okay, click that.
Okay.
And then go over and get your paintbrush.
Okay.
Paintbrush. And you make the paintbrush real big, and then you can brush it around, and you can play with the opacity. So 100, that's at 100% right now.
Yeah, you're gonna want
to put it on a layer, makes it a little easier.
Yeah, you're gonna want to drop that.
And then what you do is you can brush around on that,
That's really
and get
cool.
rid of some of those big splotchy things.
So where are you going to paint it, over by that white area?
Yeah, no, you paint
Yeah,
over
yeah, I
everything
got
that's
it.
splotchy.
Yeah, that's
And
really
the more
cool.
you go over, you do a little bit at a time, so you don't have big painty spots. But eventually, if you, as you go over it over and over again, it eliminates all those splotches without having to do anything fancy like adding another layer or another, a background or a texture or something like that.
Yeah.
You still have some texture back there around, but you're eliminating a lot of those distracting things.
The bright spots, yeah.
Now I know what you were talking
Yeah.
about, going with color picker. Another way to do that, guys, if you're going to use the paintbrush and you have the paintbrush selected, hit your Alt key, and it jumps you right to that tool without even having to go start at that tool. See, I'm holding the
What is it? Is that for Mac users?
Mac is the option.
Option key for
Okay.
Mac. Yeah.
Hey, Robert, can we work on that?
So
Now we got to work on that bird.
Uh-oh. Okay.
if you're using the brush, you don't have to keep swapping tools. You can just hold Alt or Option, and just keep picking colors and changing colors, as you go.
Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah, just hold the Alt or Option key and just sample a new color. Just sample a new color. You don't keep going back, and you don't have to actually even use the eyedropper tool if you don't want to, because the eyedropper
I
is.
just wanted you to know where it was.
Yeah, thank you, though. I'm glad. And Robert, I've got a couple more of those birds.
Robert, you need some work on the toolbar.
When I do that, a lot of times I change the normal to either color or
Yes.
saturation.
Change the blend mode up here. Yes.
Yeah, you change the blend modes too. Yeah.
I switched. I go to color mode a lot
Yeah.
when I do this.
And what does that do?
It changes how it mathematically changes what happens with the pixels when you paint, and then you typically then want to go to a much lower value with it, but it changes the behavior of how the pixels react when you do that.
So just the way you've done that, Jim, I'm curious because
I'm just being sloppy and goofing.
Oh, okay. Would you get
right now,
behind his head?
I have red from its head,
Okay. Would you have red? Yeah.
So now
The spot that's right next to his neck. Would you do that?
In here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You
You
bet.
just make a slightly smaller brush. So you want the brush to be as big as you can to not make big marks. But see, the smaller you get, the more apt you are to have
Right.
appearance.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't feather.
But it's just another way to play with your background a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this one is a little rough because there's a lot of distracting stuff there. But if it's not terribly distracting, you can actually do that pretty quickly. Eliminate stuff in the background.
All right, we got through it.
9:39, not too bad. We lost our guest though. I think we scared him away somehow.
Nah, he'll be back. He'll be back. I feel
Thank
it.
you guys.
All right.
I've got an early morning tomorrow, so I'm going to say goodnight.
Okay,
Good night, everyone.
everybody.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Good
See
night,
y'all
everyone.
next week. See y'all next week.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Take care.